Obama at all see. I mean, let's back up for a minute. Over the weekend, Eric Holder gave an interview, and he said that there's a racial component in anybody who opposes Obama. So if you can understand where he's coming from, you'll understand why he sees it that way. If you've used race your whole life to get where you are when you're a third-rate mind, and it worked for you, why would you stop using it? In other words, if it wasn't for race, would Eric Holder be Attorney General? Let's turn it around, no. Has he ever written anything in the legal books, in the world of the legal books, that would have him stand out, let's say, on the level of a Justice Frankfurter? No. Or a Justice Brandeis. Has Eric Holder ever written anything that will ever be remembered in law? No. Has Obama ever written anything or said anything that will ever be remembered? No. Other than I have a pen and a chair and stool and a stool. I have a pen, a chair, and a stool, and I'll be a one-man machine. So in other words, if you have gotten where you are using race, why would you stop now? You wouldn't stop now. And on that note, since we know the world is going to you-know-where in a handbasket, and going there real fast because we've got two men pushing it as quickly as they can over the cliff. Israel, of course, is at war with their wonderful neighbors, the Arab neighbors over there. The Arabs in America are rioting. They didn't have anything to say when the Israelis were being killed, but when their own brethren are being killed, of course, this is the way the world is. See, there's no right and wrong at a certain point. Do you understand there's no right and wrong? Do you understand where war originates? War originates when both sides know they're right. And there's no right or wrong. They go to war, and then might makes right. It's as simple as that. It's a horrible thing to say, but I said it. The world is a horrible place. It's not a place where little white girls sell lemonade on a corner in a suburb with any degree of safety anymore, except in idiotic Marin County, because the mothers are all drugged up and don't know the world that they live in. You see what I'm saying to you? My father was an immigrant from Russia, came here when he was 7, didn't speak the language, had to learn the language. He rode a laundry truck with a horse like out of The Godfather at 10 or 11. They used child labor. He was glad to have the job. He didn't go crying to the Justice Department. He was glad as an immigrant kid to get a job. And he worked his way up. He had a little store. He died young. He left my mother a small attached house and some money. She never had to work in her life. But the point is, he didn't complain about it. But he also knew it was a dog-eat-dog world, and he taught yours truly, Michael Savage. See, I was a young kid, went to college, and right away my mind was perverted and destroyed at Queens College in the city of New York. These were all communists who ran away from fascism, and the first thing I did when they came to America was try to brainwash the youth, myself included, into hating America and seeing the world through the eyes of John Dewey and the others that I was raised on in all of these liberal arts courses. So I'd come home from college, and I would give my father the highfalutin liberal view of the world as a kid, youngster. I'm talking, I went to college at 16. I skipped a few grades. And I would come home and give him the claptrap that I learned in school, and he'd look at me like I was crazy. And he would say to me, let me tell you something. The Bible says the meek shall inherit the earth. He said, let me tell you what the meek shall inherit. Now, since this is a family show, I can't tell you what my father, Savage, said. But it began with the meek shall inherit, and you fill in, it's a one-word answer. The meek shall inherit blank. So he taught me you're going to get in life exactly what you put out. Now, that leads me to the next point, which is this. And it goes along the lines, if you're not happy in this world, you're going to be more miserable in the next world. You know what I mean? Learn to live in this world and learn to be happy in this world, because tomorrow may never come. So let me tell you what, the world's a terrible place. I do this for a living. I've done it for over 20 years. I see the world in worse shape than it's ever been in my life, and any objective person, irrespective of their racial orientation or racial composition, rather, understands that Obama is an incompetent or more than that dangerous individual pushing his agenda so rapidly that the world is falling apart. Once America left, a vacuum was created, and as a result, war is breaking out all over the world. Hillary Clinton created a Cold War with Russia. Make no mistake about it. She called Putin Hitler. Never forget that. The worst diplomat in American history was Hillary Clinton next to John Kerry. This is a team of this team makes Jimmy Carter